So, I know I said I'd be back in 2 weeks with the first episode of the campaign, but clearly, what I meant was that I would be back in 5 days with a bunch of drawings of our cast of characters. Yeah. Hi, y'all. I'm Yael, and I don't heal smart nor good. These days, I'm apparently incapable of resting unless absolutely necessary, so I've been doing some silly things like rage walking around my apartment complex over and over again, and eating things that honestly disagree with me when my body is as healthy as it's gonna get. So, I was supposed to finish a project this week and post it this Friday, but I'm realizing that I kind of have to force myself to give up any and all physical endeavors until I'm back to the 95% that I'm usually at. That being said, the polls are in, and my mental health has voted no against doing a voiceover for this. So, I don't know why. Like, I'm so much more comfortable on camera than I am doing a voiceover. I don't know what it is, but that just kind of is what it is. That being said, actually, I thought about it, and I do know why. It's because a script will keep me on track, and I can remember the things that I've said and the things that I haven't said. So it's kind of like a straight track for the curly cue that is the train of thought in my head. Anyway, so my plan for today is essentially to sit here and go over Joon, our player character, and the way that I've fleshed her out while I put up the drawing process somewhere here-ish. And then I'll talk about some of the neutral characters in the first campaign. Sounds good? I can't hear you. No, I'm just kidding. I actually literally can't hear you, so you don't have to get louder. And I hate call and response. Like, why do people do that? Like, why do they say, I can't hear you? Like, you clearly heard me the first time that I said it, and then you were like, moving on. This is my character sheet, my personal physical one, for Joon, who I will start drawing right here. Bam! And, I'm glad that I did a little intro, because now I've lost my train of thought and I don't have any more script after that, so. Alright, so we've got Joon. Character sheet-wise, I've decided how I want to allocate the points that we rolled last time, and so this time I'll talk you through a little bit of what we've got going on. So for our moniker, which we can put in pen, we have Joon Fisher, who is 40 years old. And she is a mulish centaur. Or rather, she is a mulish centaurian berserker. Mulish centaurian. A berserker. I misspelled this. I probably should not do this while I am writing. I don't think I can write and talk at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this while I write everything down. Okay, so we've gotten the basics that we can write in pen written down. We have our name, Joon Fisher. We are a seer/diviner. We're a mulish centaurian berserker, and our misfortune is not technically a misfortune, it's Magnus, which means that we have a lot of innate magic and we have a lot of control. So we're already good at magic, but we're going to magic school anyway. It really is kind of Joonie Fisher. So, we have a motive. I have decided for this campaign that my character may or may not have a motive. I'm leaning towards not, because I feel like a motive is kind of something that you have when you are DMing, or GMing rather, a campaign for people, and it kind of helps them keep their character on track. For my character Joon, since I wrote the campaign, I'm not sure what kind of personal motives I want her to have. but I did roll the die for her innate magic, so I'm gonna put my character creation thing right here, if I can, and I'm gonna talk about a little bit of what's going on there. So you roll the d20 after you flip your coin to kind of see if you have high magic or low magic innately, and that doesn't really have much to do with your misfortune. You can be a mute with high innate magic. It just means that when you try to express that magic, it doesn't really, not a lot of it comes out. You just have a lot inside of you. So Junie has low innate magic, which means that we're starting our magic die at I believe it's a D6, but I have to, my notes are right here. I don't know why I'm acting like I can't look. Anyway. We're starting at a D4, correct. If you have low magic, then you will start, I should say, if you have low magic and you are a mute or meh, then you are rolling a D2. You're flipping a coin with your magic. If you are low innate magic and you have Magnus or Menace, then you're rolling a D4. Whereas if you have high innate magic and you are a mute or meh, then I have it written down. Why am I doing this to myself? If you have a lot of magic and you are mute or minor, then you are going to start off rolling a d6. And if you have a lot of magic and you are a Magnus or Menace, then you'll start off rolling a d8. So it's pretty crazy. You got a pretty wide range, but I'm rolling a d4. And if you add middling to your campaign, then rolling the 10 or 11 you'll just roll with a d4 if you're mute or meh, and you'll roll with a d6 if you are Magnus or Menace, because that's middling. Goodness. So, I decided to put my stats out on here, and I will put my chart of what dice you roll with here. But our stats that we have are mental, which of course is your brain power, muscle, which is your muscle power, magnetism, which is how attractive you are, not necessarily to date, but if you're a confident, well-spoken person or not. Melee is how good you are at fighting. So magnetism, that would be fighting with words. Melee, fighting with your fists and magic. Moxie is how smart, or rather how strong your brain is in terms of like somebody's trying to mind control you and you have a lot of moxie, they can't do that, maybe. And metal is how strong your body is. Somebody's trying to poison you and you have a strong metal, maybe they can't. Mark is your intuition, so how well do you kind of know things, how quick is your mind to pick things up. Maneuver is how physically fast you are, so you might be a good flyer, or you might be a good runner, you might be a fast swimmer if you have high maneuver. I made my dump stat melee because I personally am a pacifist, and I rolled that Junie is me. And so I put fighting as my lowest stat, and in that case I rolled an 8, and I'm still gonna write the 8 down so that I know what that number is when I level up later on. But for this, because I'm in the 7 to 9 range, I'm rolling a d6 for melee. So for right now, what I'm just doing is writing down the number that I have and the dice that I roll because of that number. And we're gonna go in once we add the Mulish Centaur plus stats to it, and we're gonna +3, +5, that sort of stuff. So lowest stat is melee. My second lowest stat is going to be magnetism, because I am very socially awkward. So I made that my second lowest stat. I might be screwing myself, I don't know. Hopefully my pre-made characters will kind of balance me out enough. I'll take a look at them in a moment and we'll see. After that is muscle. I figured muscle would be my low stat because Junie's very square, but she doesn't fight. So she's very stocky and she's kind of naturally strong, but she doesn't like exercise or do any of those things to like make herself more strong than usual. So I made it, third lowest. So that's muscle. I forgot to say that for magnetism, we have 13, so we're rolling a d10. For muscle, we have 14, so we're also rolling a d10. So 14 and a d10. I know that one of these 13s was a 15 actually, but I feel like I rolled stats so high that I'm kind of, I don't know. We'll see as I go along. Because Mark is my second lowest stat. That is also a 13. So actually, what I'm gonna do, because it doesn't change the dice, is I'm going to make Mark 14, and I'll make Muscle that 15 that I wanted to ignore. But I won't ignore it. It's supposed to be a 15, so it's a 15. And all three of these are gonna be a d10 nonetheless. So we have that. Our next highest is Maneuver. I figured she was already going to be fast, and so I was like, well, I want her to stay fast, but I don't want to... I want my highest stats to be survival stats, like Metal, Moxie type things, and so I left those as the highest. So Maneuver is a d12, it's at 17, as is Mental. Mental is also at a 17, which, as I said, is a d12. And then we're going to, of course, do Moxie and Metal. My 19 that I rolled is going to Metal, and that is a d20. And then my 20 that I rolled is going to Moxie, and that is also a d20. So the reason, or part of the reason why it is important to write these numbers down, as well as the die stat, is your health points kind of rely on your metal. So for metal, I had 19, and your health is basically a base 10 plus your metal numerical value. So that is, of course, 19 plus 10. So my current HP is 29. Yay, I helped myself. So my walk speed for a centaur, that is 75. My swim speed, of course, because my body is half horse, that I'm not very good at swimming, so my swim speed is only 15. The base is 30-30-0. So if you're a human, you walk 30, swim 30, you can't fly. I don't know what to tell you. And then, oh goodness. Oh, I love talking about stats, so I have to stop myself. I have to stop. We'll talk about stats later. But for now, we've got all of Junie's stuff written down. And then when I go to my website, when I went to my website, I realized I had not finished writing everything down yet. And so let's see if I can find my paper with my centaur on it. I don't think I can. Oh. Nope, this isn't it. All right, hold on. I was literally sitting on it. So here it is. Goodness. All right. So I will be finishing the updates of the website tomorrow. However, this is the alpacan centaur that I rolled up as a pre-made character for the campaign that I was going to play with my friends. And as you can see, I've got some stats written down already. So I've helped myself, because I definitely took a break and forgot how I was setting these guys up. So, as a mulish centaur, my moxie, my stubbornness, is +5. So now I roll a d20 when I want to do a moxie roll, and my add to that is 5. So, +5. My mark, so my intuition, is -5. So, I might have screwed myself, but I think it's okay. My maneuverability, so my speed, is +3. And my metal is +5. Yes, it's +5. Okay, so maybe I did not need to make those, whatever, we'll look at it in a moment. But that's what we've got for stats, and of course, my fly speed is 0 because I cannot fly. In terms of brooms, I am going to be making up a lot of stuff, including broom brands and things like that. But for a centaur, I did not really imagine that they would be using brooms to fly. I had my character here, whose name is Morris. His name is Mr. Morris, after my mom's cat, and his nickname is Momo. And that's actually been the case for a long time, but sadly, it is now in remembrance of him, but it wasn't when I made the character up. I just love Momo so much, or loved Momo so much. Anyway, the point is that Mr. Momo uses a magical wheelchair that essentially he tucks his hindquarters into. It's like a wheeled chair of holding. And because I have my centaur, I'm basically dismantling Mr. Morris, which is upsetting. Maybe I'll have the last name be Morris instead of Fisher, because it was kind of a nod to the Magic School series that it was Fisher, but I don't know. Anyway, point being, Junie is going to be also using a wheeled chair of holding, which is funny because I actually was in a wheelchair for a while when I was a little kid, and now I have a rollator because I'm old. So, for broom, that's what we're writing down. I'll write it down later. I'm not going to do that to myself. For a wand, I'm also probably going to be taking Mr. Morris's questionable staff, or I will be using a unicorn horn. I have not decided yet, but I'm going to be doing something. So, be on the lookout. Speaking of pre-made characters that I made for the campaign, I would love to introduce you to, well, I already kind of introduced you to Mr. Morris, so let's go ahead and introduce you to Sybil Lacrimosa, and I'll put a little picture of her right here. Sybil Lacrimosa is a specter. She's an aquatic humanoid, which basically means she's half mermaid, but she is also a ghost. There are different categories of ghosts and spirits, and I really need to look at my website and see where I lost motivation, because I had a lot of information in here, so I'm kind of excited to get back to it and look. But Sybil is just a regular old specter as far as anybody knows, and what I've written here is that she has a wand that is visible only under blacklight. She doesn't have a broom because she's a spirit. So she traded out, essentially, her swim speed for her fly speed. She can still swim, but she doesn't have to breathe air or water. So she's kind of just always a mermaid, always swimming through the air. As a familiar, she has Seymour Lacrimosa, who is a simulacrum. So, you get it? Seymour Lacrimosa. Anyway, he's a simulacrum created by Sybil's father upon her untimely demise. As he will never be dismissed, Seymour has very little he's able to do magically. So he's kind of just like a bodyguard to make sure that Sybil's grave does not get destroyed and she's not gone forever. But you... I was trying to think, will you ever know where Sybil's grave is? Maybe. Who knows? It's up to the die. So that's Sybil. And I will introduce Mr. Morris anyway. Mr. Morris has his questionable staff. He is an alpacan centaur, which is why his hair's so curly and he's so cute. And his familiar is SAD T40-8, or Sadie T48. And it's funny because it's S-80. Anyway, Sadie T48, or SADIE, is a construct created by Momo's parents and maintained in his spare time. A mechanical assistant, Sadie's use in battle is more as a delivery system for potions, etc. So that's her. I wanted to have characters that were powerful, but of course, we're all level 1 here, so Seymour Lacrimosa does not actually have spells that he can do. Sadie T48 is kind of just a delivery bot, so this page, these are my 2 favorite characters. Well, these are my 2 favorite helping characters that I created. This one is Vern Drool Jr. And they are a Fey halfling. They're they, them. They're leprechaunic, so their luck is high. They are with the student council, as well as, I believe they're a fan of Drop Dead Gorgeous, which is a band that I created for this campaign. I'm sure that somebody remembers that television show that's like named Drop Dead Gorgeous. Like, I didn't want to steal that title, but it's so good. It's such a good pun, and they're all dead. Maybe I'll say like Drop Dead Gorgettes. I don't know, but I think she's a member of the fan club, or they're a member of the fan club. Their wand is a fair trade unicorn horn, ethically sourced, and their broom was a janitorial push broom, kind of like as a nod to the original thing, but when they're in front of their family, it's a handmade one. I don't know if you've ever seen hand brooms that are made, as well as they have, you can take a hand broom and like wrap it around. Anyway, it's a very handmade broom. And this is November Harris. This is supposed to be Mr. Morris's girlfriend, so I don't know that I'm getting rid of Mr. Morris. I think he just does not have as large a part in this story as he would have had if I were playing with my friends and I didn't have a player character of my own. So November Harris is an elven berserker. So I might... Oh my god. I think I got rid of my power couple. I gotta figure some stuff out when it comes to these, because I don't want to lose these guys, so I might have to change up some stuff. She might not be a berserker anymore, but that's okay. She does not have a wand because she has the minor condition for her misfortune, so she doesn't like to try to use a wand. And also she's a berserker, so she's more physical. And as a broom, she actually has a magic flying carpet. So I probably shouldn't put broom. I should put like flying implement or something like that instead. But yes, she has a flying carpet, and her familiars were 2 little imps. One named Sloth, who would heal damage with a short nap, and then Gluttony, who would eat spell attacks and magic. So I actually do need to figure out what to do with her. She might be able to stay a berserker, I'm not sure, because she's just a fighter. She's a fighter abjurer, which means she's, punching people and warding spells, and I do still need that. So she can stay. She can stay as a berserker. Glad I worked that out. But those are just a few of the supporting characters. You know what? I can show you Drop Dead Gorgeous. I can show you Drop Dead Gorgeous. I can show you some of Drop Dead Gorgeous. So this is Pumpkin E. Goldfarber. I love her. She's my favorite. I love her so much. She is a she/her, Pumpkin F Goldfarber, sorry. She is a half-giant specter. She's gigantic. And I didn't really write a lot about these characters because they are neutral characters that may or may not join the campaign. And so I don't have her wand, broom, or familiar written down. I only have how you can become her friend, as well as her little background. Okay, my camera decided no. Anyway, so I don't have her wand, broom, and familiar setup. All I have here is her little background and how you can become friends with her. And I don't want to tell you her background because that's secret. So we're not going to. And then I can show you half of this one because the other side is gonna have a big part. But this is Hella. Hella is another one of my favorites. Basically, Drop Dead Gorgeous is my favorite creation of this campaign, and they don't have a large part in it at all. I just had a lot of fun drawing pretty girls with tusks and stuff. Anyway, Hella is an orcish Dampier, so she's half vampire, half Oni, and she has these fangs at the bottom that they mean business. You do not want to get bitten by those, which I wrote in her bio. Ooh, and her bio is not full of secrets, so I'll just tell ya. If we're being 100% honest, Hella fully became a vampire so that she could have a glow up. Sorry about it, I guess. And you do not want to bite from those fangs. Luckily for you, she's a vegetarian. Which is not a secret just because I will have the band members be mentioned, and you know how they do things about people. Anyway. Oh, I forgot to mention, I don't have a name for this gal. She is half construct, half specter, and she is their roadie. So she's not in the band, but she supports them and she goes places with them, and she has a really great time. Yeah. Those are just a few of the people that you're going to be seeing next week. I'm excited. I'm very excited to start. And hopefully I will be smarter about my physical recovery and be in tip-top shape at that point. I don't know. I'm so excited. Have a good day. Bye.